first question, what is it? A trigger point is an area that is tender, it's in muscle, and it is a source of pain in muscle. It is composed of a structural alteration so that you have a band within the muscle, not the entire muscle, but you have a discrete band within the muscle that is tight. It's stiff. You will say it has decreased tissue compliance. You can't push it in as far as you can push in normal muscle. And within that band, there is a very small spot, and we think it's about the size of a grain of rice.
So not a crab apple then?
Well, they were talking about very tiny crab apples,
okay.
Not the crab apples we see today. But that small spot is really exquisitely tender when it is stimulated by pushing. Or when it's stimulated by activity, then the muscle feels uncomfortable. So that is within the muscle. So that is we call that a pain generator, and it sends pain impulses through the nerves to the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is central and the trigger point is peripheral. So you have a peripheral source of pain, goes into the spinal cord, and it acts on a nerve cell in the spinal cord that receives pain information. And if that persists too long, it will actually sensitize the nerve cell within the spinal cord. And that sensitized nerve cell then becomes very sensitive and begins to respond to stimulation, which is not as painful. Or if you get the same level of pain, then the response is magnified. It hurts like the dickens instead of hurting just a little bit. And if it really becomes sensitized, it begins to hurt when there's no stimulation whatsoever. That central sensitization in the spinal cord tends to maintain the pain even after the peripheral source of pain may recover. So it can become long-lasting, and it has another peculiar aspect to it, which has made it very difficult to understand, and I think which probably lent itself to the difficulty in acceptance. And that is that the sensitized nervous system leads to something called referred pain, that you begin to feel pain away from the source of the pain. So you have a trigger point in the shoulder, and you may feel pain in the head, you may feel pain in the finger. That's the referred pain. And you could treat the referred pain, but you don't get rid of the source of the pain. And that was confounding to people. The other problem early on, by early on I'm talking about the 50s, 60s, and 70s into the 80s, was that you could not image the trigger point. And in medicine we have this strange phenomenon: if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Well, now you can see it on high definition ultrasound, and you can see it on magnetic resonance elastography. So that adds to its credibility.